Alright, so this is the first video of this week. We are now moving into surface area and volume, and the first thing we have to cover is classifying 3D figures. This is really important because it's going to show you what formulas to use in the future, and if you don't know how to classify these figures, you're going to be really lost. So up first, I do have some definitions for you. The first one is for prisms. A prism is a solid with two bases that are congruent and parallel. So they're the same size, same shape, they're across from each other and parallel. They would never intersect. Your prisms, they are named from the shape of the base. So we're going to name these two. The first one, I'm going to go ahead and show you where the base is. Usually it's what it's sitting on, or you want to look and see what set of sides are the same shape and parallel. So I have the bottom shape and the top shape. I went ahead and highlighted them. The next thing is to actually name this figure. So to do that, I first need to decide what shape the base is. And if you look, there are 4 right angles and 2 sets of congruent sides. So I know it is a rectangle. So I would call this a rectangular prism. So like I said, the shape of the base is what's really important here. So if you look at this one, there's a whole bunch going on and it's not really certain which one's the base. I can't call the top and the bottom the base because they're not necessarily parallel. There aren't markings telling me that. But I do have these arrows here that tell me the left and right faces are parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and shade those in, and I know those are my bases. Now I need to name it. So looking at this shape, this is a trapezoid. So you're just going to call it like a trapezoid prism, trapezoidal prism, anything like that does work. I'm not going to be a stickler on the name, just as long as you know kind of if it's a rectangular, a cube, a different type of prism, that's when it'll become really important. Alright, the next figure we have is a cylinder. This is a type of prism and it has circular bases. So if you look, it only has 2 flat faces, and those are the circle figures on the top and the bottom. So if you have a prism that has 2 faces that are circles, it's a cylinder. So we have our prisms and we also have our pyramids. Pyramids are solids with one base and faces that meet at a point. So there's a specific point that they all meet at. These are also named from the shape of the base. So looking here, I have this point at the top. And my base is the one on the bottom that doesn't come up to that point. Now to name this, you're still going to take the shape of the base. So it's a triangle. So it'll be a triangular. And it's a pyramid. So triangular pyramid. Make sure you are putting pyramid and prism with your classifying. Otherwise, I won't know which one it is. So on the second one, the point is up at the top. The base is on the bottom where all the faces come together. And if I look, I need to count the number of sides. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you should hopefully know that a shape with 5 sides is a pentagon. So this is a pentagonal pyramid. It is a mouthful, but you should know them. I gave you those prefixes for the word. So if you don't know your prefixes, make sure you have them somewhere so you can use them. So I am doing EdPuzzle probably for the rest of this online learning experience. For the rest of this video, I'm going to be showing you different figures and you'll be answering the classifying 3D figures questions in this video. I won't always be asking you to classify it. I may ask you about the bases. I may ask you if it's a prism or a pyramid. Just follow through the EdPuzzle, the video, and I'll ask you step by step. Also, surface area and volume. If you can draw the shapes, go ahead. If you can't draw them, I'm not going to penalize you. I can't draw them. Obviously, I made pictures. But especially for this activity, you do not need to copy any of these down. You don't have to draw them, anything like that. I'm just looking at how you answered the questions in the EdPuzzle, so you're not having to submit anything on Google Slides. So here's your first question. I am simply asking you, is this a pyramid or is this a prism? Make sure you look at your definition of both and decide which one it is. Again, is this a pyramid? Is this a prism? If you're confused on them, please let me know and I can help you through the EdPuzzle. So another pyramid or prism. And this is our last one of this kind. Is this a pyramid or is this a prism? These next questions, I'm asking about the base of the figure, so I need you to look at the shape. So decide, what is the shape of the base of this figure? This one is the same thing. What shape is the base of this figure? Again, look at this 3D figure, decide where the base is, and you need to tell me what that shape is. This one here can be a little tricky. I did mark the base for you, so make sure you're going straight off that. Tell me what that shape is. And then the last one of this kind, what shape is the base of this figure? The questions from here on out are just classifying this figure, so I'm not going to read the question to you each time. I'm just going to click through. I have the question. It'll stop the video for you. Once you figure it out, do your answer, submit it, and the video will continue playing for you. Alright, so that was the last question of this video. Make sure if you're not up to date on all your assignments, even if you didn't turn in stuff from last week, you can still turn it in. It'll be marked as late, but it's better to turn it in late than never. Make sure you do stay on track with your work. I give you a weekly agenda so that you're spending maybe 20-25 minutes a day on my class. I do not want you spending a whole lot of time on it because I do know you have other classes. Please make sure you're attending my tutorials. If you have any questions, I have them Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Zoom. But if you don't have any questions, have a good week, and I will see you on the next video.